Today's video is going to be about sadness. And no, not this sadness, but your everyday normal feelings of sadness. I'm currently feeling a little down myself, and I thought I'd dive into these feelings here with you. Here's a crazy thought. What if being sad isn't actually bad? What if sadness isn't something to hide, but what allows us to heal in the first place? To answer this question, I'm going to use Inside Out to drive my point across. Now, on the surface, you might think this is just another fun Pixar kids movie about being happy, but that's not really what it's about. In fact, the whole story turns on its head when you realize it isn't about happiness at all. It's about how sadness, of all things, saves the day. And that's exactly why I love Pixar films so much. They may look colorful and lighthearted, but they're built by incredibly passionate people who aren't afraid to tackle deeper, sometimes uncomfortable truths. If you've seen my other videos, you know I have a soft spot for stories like these. Ones that make me think, make me feel, and make me see life a little differently. Anyway, I digress. Back on topic. I think we can all agree that sadness is still a pretty taboo thing. We're allowed to say we're tired, we're busy, even angry, but sad? Oh no, that's off limits. It makes people uncomfortable. Think about it. The answer to, "Hey, how are you?" is never actually, "Not good. I'm feeling really sad right now." We all know that's not what people expect to hear. And on the rare chance we do tell the truth, we're hit with this wall of awkwardness. Suddenly the air gets heavy and you can see the other person scrambling for the right thing to say. And what usually comes out? Stuff like, "Cheer up, buddy," or "Don't worry, that'll be fine." It's well-meaning, sure, but most of the time it just makes us feel even more misunderstood, like our sadness doesn't belong anywhere. I'm guilty of this myself. Most of the time I just default to, "I'm fine," even when I'm not. Because honestly, it feels easier than putting myself out there, only to have those feelings brushed aside. Somewhere along the way, I probably trained myself into that response. Maybe it was a few awkward moments in the past. Maybe it was me realizing over and over again that people don't really know what to do with sadness. So now I just skip it altogether. It's funny when you think about it. As a society, we really treat sadness like it's the ultimate bad guy. The emotion nobody wants around. We shove it in the corner, pretend it doesn't exist, and act like if we could just get rid of it completely, life would be perfect. But here's the thing. Sadness isn't some seven-headed mythical creature. It's woven into our daily lives. We feel it in little ways almost every single day. And yet, we still act like it's dangerous, like it's the villain we need to vanquish. But what if that's not true? What if sadness isn't the villain at all? What if, like Inside Out shows us, sadness is actually the hero in disguise? The very thing that allows us to heal, to process, and to connect with others on a deeper level. Throughout Inside Out, Joy does everything she can to keep sadness out of the picture. She dismisses her, tries to find silly little useless jobs to keep her busy, even shoves her aside. All in this desperate attempt to protect Riley from ever feeling down. And honestly, at first, we're on her side. I mean, who wouldn't want to shield a kid from sadness? It feels like the right thing to do. It feels safe. But then something strange starts happening. The harder Joy pushes sadness away, the worse things get for Riley. She doesn't just snap out of it like Joy hopes. Instead, she starts to unravel. She grows distant from her friends. She shuts out her parents. Even hockey, the thing she loved most, loses all of its spark. All because that one emotion that could have helped her process the pain she was feeling, the one that could have connected her back to the people she loved, sadness, was silenced, confined to a tiny little circle on the ground drawn by Joy. And this part of the movie, it hits way too close to home, because I've done the exact same thing Riley does. As a guy, I just bottle all the bad emotions up. I've no choice. It feels like every time I open up, those same feelings are later used against me one way or another. My usual pattern is just to shut down. I'll pull away from people, hide in my room, and quietly let all the good habits I've worked on slip through my fingers. Exercise, sleep, even eating well, gone. Instead, I drown myself in quick dopamine fixes, binging YouTube, gaming for hours, ordering junk food. And it always plays out the same way. I'll be fine for a couple of months, working hard, feeling balanced, on top of things. And then it's like I get blindsided by a truck going 200 miles an hour. Suddenly I'm in one of those weeks, one of those bad weeks where sadness just takes over. And the worst part is the snowball effect. I don't leave the house, which means I don't exercise. I don't exercise, so I feel worse. Feeling worse makes me eat junk. Then I feel guilty for ruining my diet, so I distract myself with more videos, more games. On and on and on it goes, rolling downhill until eventually I snap out of it and claw my way back. It feels like a cycle I can't escape, and honestly, I think I might be in one of those weeks right now. Maybe you felt that too, that heavy loop where sadness just spirals. If you have, let me know in the comments, because I'd love to hear how you bounce back from that. And that's exactly why I connect so deeply to Inside Out. Riley goes through that same spiral. The sadness builds, she won't let herself feel it, she disconnects from her friends, from her family, even from hockey, and before she knows it, she's running away from home, numb to every single emotion. Up until this point, Joy has been fighting tooth and nail to keep sadness out of the picture. Every time Riley hurts, Joy tries to cover it up with distractions, with fake positivity, with just smile and it'll be fine. But the more she pushes sadness away, the worse things get. Riley isn't just unhappy, she's breaking apart. She's distant from her friends, disconnected from her parents, and even the things she once loved feel empty. And that's when the turning point finally comes. Joy realizes she can't do this alone. That all her effort to protect Riley from sadness is exactly what's destroying her. What Riley really needs isn't more cheerfulness or more pretending. What she really needs is the space to be sad. And when sadness finally steps in, something incredible happens. Riley lets herself break. She cries in front of her parents, admits how much she's hurting.
I know you don't want me to, but I miss home. I miss Minnesota. You need me to be happy, but I want my old friends and my hockey team. I want to go home. Please don't be mad.
Oh, sweetie.
We're not mad. You know what? I miss Minnesota too. I miss the woods where we took hikes.
In the backyard where you used to play.
Spring Lake, where you learned to skate.
And instead of rejection, she is met with love. She no longer has to wear the mask. She no longer has to live with the burden of pretending she's okay and that she's her parents' happy little girl. That single moment of vulnerability is what allows her to heal. And that's the big lesson, right? Sadness isn't the enemy we've been taught to avoid. It's the bridge, the thing that lets people truly see us, comfort us, and connect with us. When we push it away, we don't actually protect ourselves, we just cut ourselves off from the very help we need. Sadness to me isn't weakness, it's proof that you care. It's proof that something mattered. Think about it. Sadness doesn't show up out of nowhere. It arrives when we lose something important, when life shifts in a way that hurts. And as much as that stings, it's also what makes joy so powerful when it returns. Without sadness, joy would be shallow. It's only because we've known one that the other feels so alive. That's why I don't see sadness as a bad thing anymore. I see it as grounding. It slows us down. It reminds us we're human. And maybe most importantly, it invites others in. When we let ourselves be sad, we also give others a chance to step closer, to carry some of the weight with us. Just like Riley's parents did for her. So the next time you feel sad, instead of shoving it down or hiding behind, "I'm fine," try sitting with it. Let it speak. Share it with someone you trust. Sadness isn't there to break you. It's there to guide you back to what matters most. And if you're in one of those weeks right now, like I am, remember this. You're not broken, and you're most definitely not alone. Every single one of us carries sadness. It's part of the deal of being human. And sometimes, letting yourself feel it is the very thing that opens the door back to joy. Because at the end of the day, just like Riley learned, healing doesn't start when we avoid sadness. It starts when we finally allow it in. Hey guys, as I bounce back from this week, I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed watching this one as much as I enjoyed making it. And if you liked it, you can subscribe so you don't miss my next one. And if you'd like to support me a little extra, I've got a Ko-Fi. Link will be down in the description. Thanks for watching and take care.